the fans of the Vegas Baby Show. I'm back. So, first, I'm starting out with asking everybody to go to my Facebook page if you haven't already seen it. I have a friend who's in dire need of help with medical bills. Her son was at the daycare attacked by a dog, a rescue dog that the lady at the daycare owned. And actually, the dog had bit somebody 6 months ago. The daycare lady never told anybody. The rescue dog was adopted and then returned back to her. So, red flag right there, there might be a problem with the dog. And when you have 8 kids in the house, and not all of them babies, my friend had 2 kids there. Her baby that's under 1 and her 3-year-old Matthew, who was the one in the story, was attacked very badly. And he had to have stitches on both sides, staples all the way on his head, all the way in the back, and then they had to reattach his ear. Anyway, so just go to my Facebook page and please, I'm begging you, give whatever you can. Listen, I've got no money, and I gave. And I don't ask people for money, never have. And I, again, don't have any. But today I'm asking. And she means the world to me. I'm very, very close to her and her family and love her kids and her son. So, people who are listening to me and on my Facebook page, I'm going to be blunt. You can afford it. Please, please. These two have medical bills flying in that they live paycheck to paycheck. They're just like everybody else, a young couple, 2 kids, and now she has to take them out of home daycare and put them into one of these, kinder care, which are a lot more expensive and they can't afford. And now, and the woman where this happened is not paying for anything. And she has no insurance to run a business, and she doesn't, as it turns out, have a license. She's been doing this under the table the last 3 years. So my friend's screwed. She can't go after her insurance. No, don't, and if you're thinking homeowners insurance, it doesn't cover it because it's a business. And she lied to her insurance company, and so they didn't know. So she doesn't, they're not getting anything. Although I think she has a bad lawyer, but so please, I beg of you. So yes, go to my Facebook book and page, and I would greatly appreciate it. And it is really a good thing to do. I mean, that's what this show is all about: helping people, coming together, being what we are. We're good people. So 25, 50, 100, anything you can do, please. These I want to do more, but I can't. I have to stop myself because I'm the kind of person that will you know dig into my savings and pay all their bills, but I just can't. So please. All right, so let's move on. So today I've been so involved in my friend's dilemma. I've been helping her. We just to go back, I don't know why my computer keeps doing this. I apologize. I'm having some problems, internet problems. I'm having them. What? So anyways, my friends, I've been so busy with that, helping her. Like, we contacted Better Business Bureau, we contacted, DCFS has been working on it, but in Illinois it happened in January, and this woman's still running her business without a license and insurance. I don't get it. DCFS is dragging their feet. So we have now contacted the state's attorney's office in Illinois because I want that bitch shut down. If she's not going to pay for my friend or help, at least shut her down, because she shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so let's move on. So today, I haven't really been preparing shows, so I apologize. And because my mind has been so focused on my friend and trying to help as much as I can. I'm in Vegas and she's in Illinois, so it's really difficult. If I were in Illinois, man, I'd have a sign and I'd be camp out in front of that woman's house saying, no license, no insurance, no runny. You know what I mean? Shut her down. But I'm in Illinois. I'm in Vegas, so. So anyway, so today I thought I'd just go over some of the funny, Yeah, that happened to me. Stories. I mean, there's a million of them, and even Bill. There's some funny Bill stories. I was thinking the Bill fall stories when he fell down, or this or that. There's a really good one back in. Oh gosh, I want to say it was. Well, it had to be in early 2000s. No, I was working at Baxter in customer service then, so it was the late '90s, and we still had our blue pickup truck, and we still had the if you know my house, you've been to my house, we extended our driveway wide because we had one of those one car driveways all the way back, and so you can only be single parked. And later we actually expanded our driveway widthwise, so it was much bigger, and we got a garage and everything. So anyways, but this one winter it snowed like a shit ton, and it was in the late '90s, and it was snowing like every other day. There was so much snow that in our driveway, the single driveway, I swear it was piled up about, you know it was almost to the top of the truck on the side where you'd snow blow it and you throw it, and it was just a you'd pull into the driveway and it was just a wall of snow. You just get out of the car. This is before our garage. You get out of the car and shut the door. You just barely had enough to do it. Well, me and Michael and Bill had gone to, I don't know, Walmart that night or something. We had to go shopping or something. And we come home and we do what we usually do because Bill walked with the canes and he was slow. So me and Michael get out of the car and we go into the house. And that's just how we did it. It wasn't that we weren't always worried about Bill. It just that's how it was. Bill's like, that's how it was. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll get out of the car. I'm slow. So I'm upstairs and I turn on the TV and I realize, shit, I'm already in my sweatpants. I've changed. And Bill hasn't even come into the house yet. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm looking out the window, the upstairs window, and I don't see him anywhere. So I open the window and I yell out, Bill, where are you? And he's all of a sudden I hear, I fell and I'm laying in the driveway. I'm like, oh my God. So I get out there. Me and Michael run out there. He slipped and fell while getting out of the truck and was between the truck and the mound of snow. Now, there was enough snow on the ground that he really just bounced off, and he didn't hurt himself. So we get out there and he's laughing. He goes, thank God I had my hat and gloves. I just put them on and laid here and realized you're going to realize it sooner or later that I'm not in the house. He goes, there was no point in yelling because you couldn't hear me. So he just laid there with his mittens and his hat on, and he just laid there and waited till we realized he wasn't in the house. Oh my God. So, of course, we picked him up and got him in the house. We laughed pretty hard about that. I mean, what are you going to do, right? And then there was a time him and I were walking into Walmart, right? And you know how they have the doors that open and close automatically? Well, if you knew Bill, and if you didn't, he walked with canes and very slow because his body, it's a long story, but it was just, he couldn't bend his knees. He couldn't bend like normal people. And he walked very slow. So, I walk through and the door's open. What's going on with this computer? I apologize. The door's open, and I'm walking, and all of a sudden something went wrong because usually the doors don't close. Well, the doors started closing on Bill as he's walking into Walmart, and I yell, "Let the door hit you! We'll be the owners of the store!" Oh my God, we were laughing, and the people were laughing at us coming into the store, and he's like, "Lynn, don't say that." It was pretty funny. Another Bill. Um, then there was we went down to Navy Pier and we wanted every summer in Chicago. I don't know if it's every summer, if it's every other, but it doesn't matter. It was this summer, and the tall ships came in, and they park in Navy Pier, and you can go on. You can see some of them. It's a really cool thing. If you live in Illinois, and you've not done it, you got young kids. Very cool to do. And we took Michael and his buddy down there with us, and they had rollerblades. They were probably 14, 15. And they're like, well, we're going to rollerblade around. And I had given Michael, he needed a new pair of gym shoes. So I said, okay, well, here's money. While you're rollerblading around in the city, Be back at Navy Pier at a certain time. And we were talking on the phone. And I said, go get yourself some shoes too. And he's like, okay. So Bill's in his wheelchair, and I'm pushing him around because, again, if you don't know, because he walks so slow, if we wanted to do something and we wanted to be in a hurry, put him in the wheelchair so we didn't have to wait for him. So, we decided after the boys took off, we had done the tour of the tall ships and stuff, and then Bill's like, well, let's want to go over to Navy Pier or the Bean, and we would walk around that park and get some lunch and that kind of stuff. So I go to hail a cab, and the cab comes, and Bill stands up, and I fold the wheelchair, and the guy's still sitting in his car. I'm like, could you pop the trunk? I have a wheelchair. I got to get it in here. And he's like, no, no, I don't take that. And I said, that's against the law to do that, sir. You have to take us. It's a law here in the state. I know that for a fact. And he's like, no, I don't take no wheelchairs. Get out. As Bill was trying to get into the car, right, the taxi. So Bill gets out, and I'm like freaking mad. And I'm like, oh yeah? So I look at the guy and I go, you're cursed. Cursed. And he just kind of looked at me, and I said, come on, get in the wheelchair. So then there's these two people walk behind us, and the husband goes, oh, there's a cab right there. These people aren't going to take it. And the wife saw me go, you're cursed. And the wife goes, I'm not getting in that cab. No way, after what that woman just did. So I'm sure that guy, because he looked pretty freaked out when I did it. I looked right in his eyes. I said, cursed you. So Bill goes, it's not that far. And I'm like, okay. So we're at Navy Pier, and the Bean is on the other side. It's in the middle of Chicago. And I said, okay. So I get him in the wheelchair, and we start pushing. And he's like, I know a shortcut. Go this way. And I go, all right. So I go that way, and I'm pushing. All of a sudden, I'm like, Bill, where are we? Because all of a sudden there's people sleeping on the side under these bridges and this and that. I'm like, I'm not feeling all that safe right now. And he's like, oh man, maybe I took us the wrong way. Oh, great. Now I'm like, we're halfway through this. I don't know where we were, but did not. Here's a woman pushing a handicapped man, a woman that's 5'1", pretty much out of shape, and pushing a man. Really, we were sitting ducks. We made it through that, and then it started to rain. Yeah. So I'm pushing Bill in the wheelchair in Chicago, going to the Bean, and it's raining. I'm like, oh, this is just so much fun. And Billy, you said it was around, not that far. Well, it was. I'd like to know how many miles that really was, but I know it had to be at least, well, it had to be over 5 miles one way, at least, probably more. I don't know. But anyway, so we finally get to the Bean, and we're looking around, looking at that, and then they've got that pool of water there where there's a big thing and it makes a face, and the water spurts out for the kids, and it's a big pool. Everybody knows that. If you've gone to the Bean down in Chicago, you've seen it. And so we're walking around looking at it, and then there was a place to go eat, and I said, I'm starving after that walk. And then it stopped raining, and so I'm like, and then it got hot, and I'm like, oh great, so we're wet and now we're sweaty. So we went to this place, and it was an outdoor cafe, thank God. So I sit down and we look at the prices for a beef sandwich. It was like $15. I'm like, and we were gonna eat. We were gonna have, I forgot that place. It's at Navy Pier. God, it's a really good, well, sort of. It's a famous hamburger place. I forget. Anyways, it's not a chain though. So we were going to eat there. That was the plan, me and Bill. But I said, but I can't wait. We got to eat. And I was like, well, we're not paying $15 for each a sandwich. So we split the sandwich, right? And actually that was plenty. But I'm like, 15 freaking bucks. It was, I'm not kidding, 15 or 20. It was incredibly expensive. So I'm sitting there, and I give Michael a call. I'm like, we got to find out where Michael and Kirk are. So I call him, and I said, where are you? And he's like, oh, we're having lunch. And I said, oh, great. Where? And he said, oh, in this Irish pub. Oh, okay. I said, you're eating lunch in an Irish pub. Okay. Um, what are you having? I was like, I said to Bill, what? And Bill's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, he's eating in an Irish pub. He goes, oh, I just ordered a steak, and Kirk ordered oysters Rockefeller. I said, excuse me? And he goes, yeah. And I go, where did you get the money? He goes, oh, the $100 you gave me for the shoes. I didn't want him to spend it on the shoes. It was for to eat too. And I said, yeah. He goes, well, I'm treating Kirk. I said, you're treating Kirk to oysters Rockefeller? And you're having a steak, and Daddy and I are over here splitting a beef sandwich? What's wrong with this scenario? And Bill's like, what's going on? I go, your son is having a steak right now, and Kirk is having oysters Rockefeller. And Bill's like, calm down. I'm like, Michael. I said, okay, when you're done eating, head back to Navy Pier right now, because we're at the Bean, and we're gonna walk back. He goes, okay. And I said, I'm gonna kick your ass when I see you. And he's like, sorry, Mom. I don't know. We just so. Of course, we knew a cab wasn't going to probably do it, so then I had to push Bill all the way back to Navy Pier. I would really like to know how far it is. If anybody knows, put it in the notes, because it was really far. And we finally get back to Navy Pier late in the afternoon, and we finally find Mike, and I'm just like, what the hell? So now I'm cranky because I'm tired. I dried from the rain, but now I'm sweaty because it got hot then. Because August in Chicago, I need to say no more, right? So, and then I'm tired, and now I'm getting hungry again because a half a beef sandwich wasn't doing it. Okay, I'm like, okay, I'm going down to that place and having a burger, and Bill, me and Daddy are doing that, and you and Kirk are sitting right here, and you watch our seats, and then we're going to come up and eat in front of you two, and you're not having anything. I don't care if you're hungry. Oh no, we're really full. We're stuffed. I said, do you have any change from this $100? And I got the change. It wasn't much. That's another story of my life, right? I think I told this story when we went to Ravinia the one year to see Tony Bennett. It was either Tony Bennett or what's her name? She's got the red hair with the gray, Bonnie Raitt. And we met some friends. So we're pushing Bill. I had a push cart with the cooler on it and our chairs, because we had food and beer and pop in there. Beer is the most important part. And in front of Ravinia, they have, when you go into the front door of Ravinia, which is an outdoor concert venue, I should tell you that. There's like 100 seats under the stadium, the roof, where you can sit up front by the stage, but everybody sits out in the lawn. It's huge and it's great. There's speakers everywhere. It's really awesome. So, and you can bring your own booze, food, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can bring anything in. So, I'm pushing the wheelchair and Bill's pushing the cart. So, of course, the cart's going all over the place, and we finally get up to the front, and we have to cross over the railroad tracks. So I started to take Bill over, and then the wheelchair got kind of stuck, and I said, all right, stay here. I'm going to push the beer cart over first, and I'll come back and get you. So Bill's sitting on the railroad tracks in the wheelchair, and I'm pushing the beer cart to make sure the beer, it's important to make sure the beer and food was safe. Do you not all agree? And Bill was laughing. But do you know that not one person that walked by Bill offered to push him off the railroad tracks? They all just kept walking. And I would say probably 20 people walked by him while he was just sitting there. And he goes, I hope no train comes, honey. And I said, well, they'll toot the horn so we'll know. I'm sorry, I went walking today and my allergies are just killing me. So that was pretty funny. It wasn't, well, there was another time Bill did a fall. It's not funny, but it is. It's kind of like you got to laugh, right? So it was a week before his kidney transplant. He got a kidney transplant in 96. In January of 96, his wonderful brother, Keith, gave him one of his kidneys so that Bill could get off of dialysis, because he wasn't going to live a lot longer. If he hadn't gotten a kidney then, it was really bad, and that's all I'm going to say. He just got very, very ill being on dialysis. So he had to go in for a last checkup, a last blood work. You know, they have to keep doing that, and his last one before the kidney transplant. It was only like, it wasn't even a week before the transplant. I think this was Thursday, and the transplant was on Monday. So, and it's January. So his mother, I went to work, and his mother comes over and said to take him to get the blood work, and his mother is my height, maybe a little shorter, 5'1", 5 feet maybe. Remember I told you when I was telling you the coma story, she, 110 pounds sopping wet maybe. So she comes over, and they're walking out the door, and Bill slips and falls. And that's not funny. By no means is it funny. But poor Marilyn, my mother-in-law, it's January. It's in, and she's like, she couldn't pick him up. I told you, she's teeny little thing. And she's like, oh my God. And it was icy. So it was like, she needed at least two more people to help her, right? And, when somebody falls, it's dead weight. And Bill wasn't super at that. Well, at this point, he was his body was kind of heavy because he was retaining so much water, blah blah blah. So he's laying on the sidewalk, and she's like, "I'll be right back." So poor Marilyn has to go up and down the street. She goes to my next door neighbors, who were very close to. They weren't home. She went to the next people. They weren't home. Next went home, and she went all the way down the street and found some sanitation workers working. And she's like, "I need your help." So they came back. They picked Bill up and put him in the car. And it was like, oh my God, see what I mean? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen to us. And he ended up breaking his collarbone. And was it his collarbone or his shoulder? I can't remember. He cracked it. So then the transplant surgeon's like, we can't do surgery then. And we're like, what? You can't do it? Why? And he's like, well, his shoulder's broken. So he's like, if you get an orthopedic surgeon to say it's okay, I'll do it. So he got us the transplant doctor, that Friday morning, the next day, to an orthopedic. He looked at it. It was it wasn't that bad. And he goes, listen, they're gonna, because see, the kidney, no, that would be Keith that they'd have to pull because the kidneys are in your back. Anyways, he said, you're going to be unconscious anyways, and they can tape you down. So it would be painful if you were awake, but you're not going to be. So he called the surgeon and said, do it. You can do it. And really, it hardly ever bothered Bill, but it was just like another war injury. He said, got another one. And the transplant went well. So that all worked out. That was great. So there's all of these little funny stories about Bill and that and then shoot, there was one story I wanted to tell you and I forgot. Anyways, those are the Lynn stories, believe it or not. Oh, I'll tell you this one. I'll leave you with this one. So I'm older. I'm a widow, and people, oh, get online, get back. I've done Match a long time ago. It wasn't for me, and I wasn't ready anyways. Now I'm just looking for somebody to hang out with. You know what I mean? To do nothing with. So people are, oh, get back online, do it, and I'm like, no, no, no. So I finally, Match was having a sale, 30 days free. So I thought, oh, okay. So I did it. One day, Lynn, this is Lynn now. This happens only to me. One day I'm on it, right? 24 hours, I get a hit. And this guy, oh, blah, 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 blah. And so he's like, let's email. Okay. Because you don't want to do a lot on the Match site. So we're emailing. And he was just going on and on. So then I asked him, what part of the valley do you live on? That's all I asked him. I didn't want to ask him where he lived or anything like that, just to know if it was going to be hard for us to meet or what. And he never answered it. So it was the next day. And I get another really long email. Oh my God, he's going on and on and on. And so my friend, I'm like, this is weird. I'm getting like a book from this guy. So my girlfriend says to me, I did some research, Lynn. You're not going to like it, but let's see. So she says to me, what is his profession? And I said, he said he was a financial analyst of some sort. She's like, oh my God, okay. check. I'm like, what does that mean? Nothing. And then she's like, and what else did he say? I said, he said he's a widow and he's just check. And she said, and how is the grammar in the emails? I said, bad. The spelling, it's weird. Some of it don't make sense. She's like, check. And I'm like, what does all that mean? She's like, oh, Lynn, I'm so sorry to tell you this. You're being catfished. What? Right out of the gate, first guy catfished. It's probably because of this face, you know. And they probably like, oh yeah, she ain't gonna get nobody, so she's gonna bite on this line that this guy's sending out there. And I'm like, oh my god, you know, I gotta tell you what, that is a blow to your ego. I was really upset. I know it's funny now, but I was really upset. I'm like, you know, I said to some of my family members, you know, it was really hard for me to sign up to do that because I'm not an attractive woman. Again, looks good on my dad and my brother, not on a woman. So I'm like, you know what? I was really upset. And I'm like, you know, fuck that fucker. And my girlfriend goes, I know. And sure enough, I emailed him. I said, you're fucking catfishing me, aren't you? And if you're not, you'll write me back. Never heard it from him. All of a sudden, he's off the site, this and that. So I called Match and I bitched them out. I said, bah, 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 bah. And they're like, okay, okay. Actually, it wasn't free. It was like, you know, really cheap for a month. So I got my money back. But then I find out, me and my friend do some work. Match is one of the worst catfish sites out there. Sure. I'm on Match 24 hours and I get catfished. I'm never ever doing that again. So I guess I'll be sitting here doing these shows the rest of my life all by myself. Yeah. Thank God I like to laugh. My son hears this, he's gonna like, oh God, she's gonna sing. Because remember, he doesn't like my voice. He doesn't like my voice. I was catfished. I was catfished right out of the gate. I was catfished. I was catfished right out of the gate. It's because of this face. Because of this face, I can't get me a guy. I'm just kidding. So yes, those are my funny little stories today. I promise I will do better tomorrow. Although those were some pretty funny stories. I have more. I don't know. The mind. I got to clear my mind of my girlfriend. So, but I love you guys. I just didn't want to disappoint you guys and did a show. But tomorrow there's going to be a guest. So we're going to be back. I'm very excited about it. A good guest. And I got to figure out why my computer keeps going in and out with the color. I apologize for that. I don't know why it's going dark to bright, dark to bright. I don't know what's going on. So, but I've enjoyed trying to make you laugh today. I hope you did. And remember, smile to somebody, say hi to somebody, help somebody, like my friend. Now, that's a really good thing to do. You do that, and you're going to be getting some good karma coming your way. I'm telling you. I'm just saying. You know, I haven't done it. I just saying lately. Huh. What did I do? I did the turn signal. Oh no, I did the cell phones. I could do the turn signal, but maybe I'll save that for tomorrow because that's a good I'm just saying. Because I'm just saying. Anyways, get back to be good, love one another, especially now. Times are rough right now. And especially with this virus thing going around, which I am not worried about. It'll probably kill me because I just said that, but I'm not worried about it. Whatever. But I love you all, and for the faithful that do watch my show religiously, I love you, man. I know everybody's busy, so I did send a text to my nieces and nephews, a guilt text the other day, and I'm trying to guilt them into watching. Basically, I'm telling them, just turn it on so I get views. Am I pathetic or what? I mean, I do want people to watch it, but I also want the views because I want my son to eat that shoe. And again, if you didn't watch the beginning, you don't know what that means. So, but as always, it is fun. I do like doing this. I do want to keep it up. So, and I was catfished, and I can say that it exists. Anyways, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow with our special guest. So don't miss it. Keep on rocking and rolling, and I'll see you on the next Vegas Baby Show starring me, Lynn. Bye bye.